Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Ahearn with iLoop Mobile. I am the Vice President, actually a co-founder of iLoop Mobile. We are a company, just to let us know, or let you know a little bit about us. We are a solutions and service provider for mobile marketing. We specialize in mobile marketing campaign services and content delivery worldwide. We offer different channel services and technologies for SMS, MMS, mobile sites, mobile coupons, CRM, LBS, apps, and all the other wonderful things you could do in the mobile channel. We're also a leader in strategy and campaign delivery. We help you design campaigns, and we're working with some of the largest Fortune, we lost the word 500 in there, Fortune 500 companies. You can get a sort of an idea of some of the people that we help with solutions and services in leveraging the mobile channel. So today I'm going to take the point of view of what I'm going to call MOTO, and that's mastery of the obvious. So normally, and what this conference is about is mobile payments. What I'm going to talk about today is not so much the blocking and tackling of mobile payments and setting up m-commerce sites and whatnot, but it's the piece that's, I think, in fact, more important than the actual payment and the site. And so in talking about mastery of the obvious, the problem for our customers is that they build these fabulous m-commerce sites, and they're doing mobile payments, and they have this incredible environment, but what they run into is this figure right here. They're running around chasing in circles and wondering why they're not getting anywhere. So today what we're going to do is we're going to consult Captain Obvious to the rescue, and we're going to talk about the problem of how you actually drive traffic to those wonderful environments you create. So if we look at m-commerce, and I were to ask everyone here, what is the goal of m-commerce and m-payments? And they would say, well, that's simple, it's to drive sales, right? So what you're thinking about here is 1 + 1 = 2. I'm going to put it to you that m-commerce is not about that. What m-commerce is about is driving consumer engagement that drives traffic that then drives sales. And the reason why I'm going to put it that way is that 1 + 1 + 1 = billions. It is a value-add proposition beyond just telling someone, I've got a tomato stand, please buy my tomatoes, and by the way, if you come to this URL, you can buy them there. Mobile marketing is an integrated endeavor that has many, many facets. It's multimodal, and until you approach mobile marketing as an integrated multimodal channel, then all you're really doing is setting up a tomato stand. So if I were to illustrate this, the famous movie, Field of Dreams, the famous phrase by James Earl Jones, Ray, people will come. If you build it, the people will come. I will put it to you, this is the wrong way to be thinking about mobile commerce and mobile payments. He should have said, Ray, people will come, but just building is not enough. And what that means is if you look at that phrase I have on the top here, motto number 1, master the obvious, is bring it to them, and they will come. Okay, so we run into strategic problems with our customers all the time where they build these incredible environments, these massively beautiful apps that are these incredible parlor tricks and great environments, and the problem is they look at their Google Analytics and they've got 1,000 visitors. So that's the problem that we help people solve. So under this idea, I'm going to put to you the idea of pull and push marketing, okay? So if you build a fabulous mobile commerce site and you're doing great mobile payments, all you've done so far is what I would categorize as pull marketing. And if we were to do an analog, it's the equivalent of setting up a newspaper stand. And in setting up a newspaper stand, you are relying on people to actually walk past your stand and buy the newspaper. I put it to you, there's a better model or a better way to look at it, and it's this. Isn't that a better way to sell newspapers? It's about push. It's about delivering what is so fantastic that you've built and your value add and your great products, and you're going to have a fabulous stand. So if we were to do the mobile analog here, the newspaper stand is your fabulous m-commerce site with m-payments, right? That's great. You've built that. But that's all you've done is built a newspaper stand. You've built no distribution or delivery. So what we look at it as, in terms of this idea of multimodal channel marketing, is that you need to then develop a push strategy for your environment. So the first thing of obvious tactical choices is you're going to need to do some standard blocking and tackling display advertising. Okay? You're going to have to do ad media buy in the mobile channel to drive traffic to your newsstand. The second thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to be able to create a push environment so that you can actually push to the people you would like to come to your tomato stand. You're going to be able to push messaging to these people and grow basically the audience for your store, okay? Two ways we can do that is simple SMS messaging, blocking and tackling, and now today with interoperable systems with the carrier networks, we can now make it even more interesting using rich media, and we can develop MMS programs to deliver rich media, all in the aid of delivering traffic and pushing traffic to the place where money actually changes hands. So a best practice of this is what I call horizontal integration, or to put it in another way, if you're doing m-commerce and if you are doing m-payments, you need to promote the marketing and advertise the advertising. Because again, you could have the best site in the world, unless you let the world know about your site and how you can get to it, then it is basically the old adage, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make any sound? It doesn't. So we can see here a great brand. Steve Madden do a great job in the mobile channel because they are multimodal. They have a great mobile site that is optimized for the sales of high fashion shoes, but they are multimodal. You can see they're putting the call to action of how to get to the store, how to get to the place where money changes hands in everything they do. So mastering the obvious, number two, the key is store traffic. That's a big duh, right? So my point to that is traffic and all of it is good. What that means is in the past, and it still exists today to a great deal, is that there seems to be, or there's a perception within a brand or a retailer that there's competition between their brick and mortar and their online teams, okay? I'll put it to you that traffic is traffic, and what you want to do are develop programs where the ability to get people to a store works across all the different channels and it serves all the channels. So your marketing is actually going to not only drive traffic to brick and mortar, but it will give people the choice to drive the same traffic to internet environments. And what you're really doing, and the goal of this, is to actually offer your customers the choice of where they prefer to buy. So ways we can do this in a push environment, you can build and integrate your CRM database for segmented marketing messages using SMS and MMS. So use what you know about people, your existing databases, your existing email databases, send them messages, let them know that the place that you'd like them to go exists. You'll be able to do this to drive traffic. Secondary benefits of this is you'll also drive and increase loyalty. And in doing this, you'll also capture preference and profile information so that you can increase the relevance and effectiveness of your marketing. Okay, this is basically a system of using one rock to kill 25 birds. You can also use, and if you want to take it to the next level, you can create rich media messaging for push marketing to deliver rich media. Instead of just delivering 160 ASCII characters, you can actually deliver video, you can deliver images, you can deliver rich media, which is more compelling, which makes your messaging even more compelling to drive customer engagement, loyalty, and store traffic. You can also increase engagement via push marketing that relates to your CRM via their online behavior. So you can take your cookie information, again, this is nothing more than profile information about your customers, use that information, make your messaging more relevant, again, driving store traffic and also making the offers that you might give them extremely relevant. So if you know what they're doing on your PC or within the PC environment or the online environment, and for that matter, the mobile internet environment, that data is leverageable in terms of the messaging that you send to them in sending them valuable content and messages about the brand. And finally, you can deliver incentive marketing programs that basically increase traffic. This is your basic mobile coupon or mobile promotion. This can have the combination of redemption via internet, either a mobile internet site or online, depending on the preference of the customer, as well as full POS redemption at brick and mortar. So what we're looking at here is brick and mortar is making friends with online. They're not enemies, they're not after each other. They are Darth Vader and Han Solo. They hug each other and they work really well together. So the right keys to get in the door, best practices. Let's take a look at a unified call to action, or let's say a promotion strategy here for a brand Polo. So in best practices, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. The first one is URL only, which is putting in little tiny letters down at the bottom, visit m.ralphlauren.com. And that's your call to action to drive traffic. I call that dumb and ugly. Okay? Doesn't work. It's too small. They're not going to do it. And even if they wanted to do it, they are forced to actually manually enter the URL via the browser. Not the optimal way you want to do it. So our second choice here would be SMS or MMS. And I would call SMS a smart pull and push. So they can opt in, which is a pull behavior by the end user, and then you can push them messages, okay? You can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's big and loud, okay? So if you're gonna ask them to do it, make it obvious that they should be doing it. MMS I would call sexy pull and push. So not only are you able to pull and push messages, you're sending them sexy content, which would be, for example, a video around your brand or the store. Another best practice would be the mobile display ad, and I call this librarian push. And I call it librarian push because like the librarian that you sort of stereotypically had when you were a kid, when you had them at work, they'd have the glasses on and their hair up in a bun, but when they took their glasses off and let their hair down, it was a completely different person. That's the same situation we have for mobile display ads, in that they can be ugly and basic, like the first two phones we see there. But today we're also seeing interactive, rich media ads on the right, which is a much more compelling and better way to go at the customer. QR codes I would categorize as sexy pull. The reason why it's sexy pull is that it actually, you can see a very large call to action to get them to the store. There's no mystery about what you want them to do, and it's something that the end user would have a compelling reason to actually want to do that. They understand what your call to action is. It's not hidden and it's not tiny. They know without any shadow of a doubt what you want them to do and what they're going to be doing. So this is a very good implementation right here, this version of this ad. If you're trying to drive traffic to the site, this is what it should look like. And then in the future, we're seeing some other possibilities here. Picture recognition, where instead of shooting an ugly code, you just shoot a picture of the ad itself and it will deliver the site. So I call that the sexier pull, and then the supermodel sexy pull is NFC, which means I'm going to wave my phone in front of an ad and it's going to deliver the store. So master of the obvious 3, cheese in the trap. How do I get people to actually go to a link? What are the incentives as a consumer that will actually drive me to want to go there? Well, these are tried and true things that have worked before and they work still. Sweepstakes give away an instant win. Make the call to action, give them something that I as a consumer actually want. So include your basic incentive marketing offers to get them actually to the place where you want them to go. Second one, coupons. Give them something they can redeem either online or in brick and mortar as the first entry point to the actual larger visit and larger interaction in the site. So we can deliver both ASCII codes, very simple, where a simple text message would have an ASCII code in it, and that could be entered in an online environment, either a mobile site or an online site. We can deliver barcoded coupons with MMS that can be redeemed using scanners at brick and mortar, but also any barcoded coupon will have a number underneath it, so let the consumer know that that number underneath can also be used and entered to redeem a code. And finally, some other channels that have been used, poll and vote and survey. So if you're doing initiatives that have anything to do with polling, voting, surveying your customers, make it interactive, mobile enable it, and make that the first entry point that actually motivates them to actually get to that site. So master of the obvious 4, the plan is the strategy. And what this means is if you don't have a plan, you don't have a strategy, you don't have a campaign, you are not marketing. So when we look at a customer and they come to us, what we do is we come from the point of view of strategy first. And what we propose to them is to build a plan, and we often represent it as a pyramid structure, where it is going to be multimodal. You build from the bottom up. You start with basic to complicated. Each one of these levels of the pyramid all accomplish different marketing objectives. So these strategies are all focused around a specific marketing objective that is going to be measured in empirical digital manners. So if you can see here, for example, a potential retail plan is you would start out with simple customer acquisition and loyalty. Get them to opt into messaging. Have the ability to start to communicate with the customer. Once you've done that, the second level, CRM, segmented messaging. Now take any information you have about that customer, either existing or on opt-in, when they actually opt in to a messaging system, capture that information, and then message against it. The reason being, again, pretty obvious, the more relevant the message is to the customer, the higher your conversion rates are going to be and more likely they are to do what you want them to do. From there, you go to personalized segmentation, where you allow the customer to control their own profile and control their own preferences. Again, with the goal of making the messaging more and more relevant, more and more compelling, and from the marketer's perspective, more and more successful. The mobile site is at the top of the pyramid, and then at the very, very top of the pyramid is the m-commerce site. Okay, so many people start at the top of the pyramid and don't do anything going down. And when you do that, what you wind up with is, again, a great environment with no way to actually motivate people to get to it. So in asking the question, why mobile messaging, here's some data points and some reasons why messaging as part of a m-commerce mobile site or mobile payment plan as a retailer. The first is the 555 axiom, which means in terms of customer response, it takes them 5 days to respond to print call to action, takes them 5 hours to respond to an email, but all messages that are in SMS or MMS in the mobile sphere and channel are responded to and acted on within 5 minutes of receiving it. So it has the advantage of immediacy. Second, engagement, stickiness. Unlike other fleeting messaging, for example, social, these messages stick on their phone. So they can save those messages that you sent to them, and they can act on them either now or later, but they're sticky. Unlike a social network play where they're just watching a stream of messages go by that sort of appear and then vanish in the stream of information. It also gives direct consumer response. They can click to call, they can click to the web, they can do POS redemption. All these things are available as direct behavior response. Second, to be personalized. So we can see in this message here, those areas in red, what we're able to do is those areas in red for that message that's delivered to that customer come from the CRM. So each message, potentially, or if the brand wants to do it, it can be individualized for every customer so that we know where they are, where they live, what their name is, and what they like, and then we will insert and we will fashion messages around that information. Performance, we know 300% increase of SMS versus email in terms of performance. We know that 70% of emails are normally blocked upon reception. Conversion rates are in double digits for SMS and MMS, as high as 50%. We've had 100% conversion on certain campaigns, especially if it's in store. Increased purchase intent as high as 40%, and we've seen ROI as high as 1,000% on channel push marketing. Interactivity, especially with MMS, you're basically increasing the user's interest with rich media. So you're pushing rich media to the end user, not asking for a pull. In terms of messaging with smartphones, it spells success. We're seeing that today, 1 in 4 users are receiving 1 to 5 ads. Won't call them ads. They are marketing messages to their phones and responding to them at 24%. And of that 24%, we're seeing 50% of this action is around coupons, contests, gathering information, or at the very bottom there, charity and nonprofit is actually having success as well. So we're seeing very, very high performance in the actual messaging channel as sort of the door to the higher order behaviors you want the customer to do. What does customer acquisition look like? Well, here's an example of online-based profile and preference capture. So you can integrate into any traditional retail marketing channel a call to action of a keyword and a shortcode, text message, brand X to 12345 to get a coupon and visit more offers from the store, right? So what you're going to rely on is print, in-store, web, mobile web to actually promote the existence of your marketing. So here as a web opt-in, you can see we're capturing the information about the customer. That customer goes to a unified database, and all messaging to the customers then is customized and made relevant by the information that we know about the customer. These are weekly messages on events, promos, special offers. Again, opt-in is available via online web or mobile site. The user can select what kind of messages you want, so you can see in the bottom website there, it says send me updates on. I can tell the brand what I want to receive. Very valuable, because I'm more likely to open something if I feel I have control over the messages that I'm receiving. They can be personalized for each customer by name, location, and product relevance. And all of this preference and profile data can be captured for CRM database build, analysis, and targeted messaging, and use in other channels. So the beauty of this, when you capture this information on opt-in for the mobile initiatives, you can leverage that information in your print, in your direct marketing, and other areas where you're going to be using CRM data to make your marketing more relevant. If we look at MMS, and to define what we mean by integrated mobile marketing, you can see that the opt-in is via SMS. It delivers an SMS message, and then from that message, it opens up a whole world of different interactions with the customer. One of them being the second or the third phone down is the actual mobile site where m-commerce and m-payment can actually happen. But it's more than just buying things. It's coupons and graphics to make them loyal and to get them more interested in what you're selling. It's rich media for product awareness or interactivity. And it's also the ability to deliver a chance for them to go after a native app as well. So this can be done as a simple SMS opt-in. These can also be just pure MMS, so you don't actually even bother with SMS. They will opt in via SMS, and it will deliver MMS-based messaging. And this can also be enacted by QR codes and Microsoft Tag and other 2D barcode opt-ins, where you put the graphic-based opt-in mechanism, and it will deliver the exact same content. If we looked at the marketing in terms of MMS and how you would give them incentives to interact with the retail store or the brand, you can see much more compelling than SMS. You actually can give them very, very involved information that's graphic-based around incentives that they can take advantage of in the mobile space itself. So here, this is all predicated on what we know about the customer, and the offers are customized around that. You can also, as in terms of standard direct marketing practices, you can segment by your highest value customers, and then do a product offering or an incentive offer based around the information you have around those best customers. Another opportunity in this paradigm of messaging to get them to a site is those messages can be location aware. So we have the ability, in sending messages to the customer, we can know where they are. We basically ping the phone, we can establish where they are at that moment, and deliver a location-relevant message. This is important for two reasons. One, the incentive or whatever the marketing message that you are delivering can be exponentially more effective if it's relevant to where they are at that time. Okay, this is, again, a very high degree of relevance. That relevance carries over into the effectiveness of the click-through to the site. The second relevance is when you put a URL in that SMS that is location-aware, the site link itself can be location-aware as well. So the content that you deliver in that mobile internet environment will be location-aware as well. We can do this using geofences. We can do this as one-time message campaigns where someone, for example, would look at a billboard, opt in, get the offer would be location aware. It could also be integrated with subscription messaging, either one time where we capture their location once and we use that as their home and we send messaging based against that location, or we could actually ping them every time we send them a message so it's relevant to where they are at that moment. Seems we're frozen. That's okay. We'll end it there. I had one more. The next slide went around something what I call smart messaging, and that is the ability to message against a third-party database. So the messaging could be your proprietary CRM, but it could also be against someone else's database. So for example, if you wanted to do weather-aware messaging, and you think it's valuable when I message to somebody, what the weather is like, where they are at that moment is important. we can actually ping a database of that information against that person, where they are at that time when they actually opt in. So for example, you can have an opt-in where you ask for somebody's zip code as they opt in. We'll know where they are. We ping a weather database. It will establish that person is in New York. It's 30 degrees out right now. They should get the wool sweater coupon and not the cotton shirt coupon. Okay, so we can use third-party databases on weather, on inventory, on customer behavior. Any third-party data source can be leveraged, so it would ping that data source first before sending out the requisite message. So I'll end it there. Any questions? Yes. Right behind you.
So the location-based service, is this applicable only to US, Canada, or applicable across the world?
Right now we are, and actually someone who's going to be able to answer that, I believe someone from Locate is going to be speaking tomorrow, so he could probably address this better. Our company specifically, we work in North America in terms of location-based services, but there's no reason why you cannot do location-based services around the world. It's just a question of access to the carrier data in terms of integrating with what we call a location aggregator. So technically, it can be done. I believe it can be done. Right now, we are just doing North American location.
Any other questions?
Great. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be here for a few more minutes.